What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Oshay Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. Guys, you know, police corruption is such that, it's hearsay a lot of times, right? A lot of guys, when we see that are in prison, realistically, we're like, look, he deserved to be there, okay? Like, he's messing up. The police, they don't lie. The police, they don't cheat. But you know what? We all know that's true because the police can lie, and they actually can lie to get confessions or to get stuff. They're allowed to lie and do whatever the hell they want, breaking the rules all the time, and nobody can say anything about it. But what if I were to tell you that the police are trying to plant evidence on somebody that they've already arrested? You wouldn't believe it, huh? Well, guess what? I actually have video evidence, okay, of the police who arrested somebody, took what they called evidence, then tried to bring it back to the person's house to plant it on them so they can arrest them again. Okay? Now, I did a video a few weeks ago on Mr. Victor Welton out of the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. Someone had brought me attention of Mr. Welton, and he was arrested last year, okay, on speculation of drug charges. In other words, what they were trying to say is there were some women going from, Louisiana to California and back and forth that had some sort of contraband of illegal drugs inside their vagina, and they were trying to pin it on him, all right? And it seems like whoever it was, and I played the video at the time, they were targeting him for a certain time, or at least speculating. But what happened was he was put in jail around May or June, something like that. So once he was arrested, he was able to bond out. He was only out for maybe a few weeks. But while he was at home, we're going to look at some video evidence here, maybe in the background, of the police getting out of the van, an unmarked van. Okay? Now, they probably don't even think that he's there, but they're bringing evidence from the van, trying to plant it into his house. How do you do that? We're gonna watch it on the videotape. How do you do that? How do you already know when they're driving in unmarked cars, it's already dusty. But then bringing evidence to somebody's house, which they say they've already gathered in this illegal stuff. Does that make any sense? So what does Mr. Walton do? He takes the stuff right back to the police department. Like, look, y'all dropped this here off. We're going to bring it back. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. But whoever, because for people who have been locked up and have been to jail, when they take evidence from you, if it's illegal evidence, and they're prosecuting you, okay, I was always thought to believe that if this is what they're doing, they would use that in the court of law or on a jury trial. Or if you have, let's say, clothes or something like that, or things of your own valuables, they will release that to you once you bond out or once you do something like this. Why would they drive to where you're at, try to drop it off on you, and you already know most likely what they're going to try to do, try to come back and arrest you for it? And while you're right there on camera like a dumbass, like it's obvious that this is what they're doing. How dumb can you be? And let's just say, for example, let's just say in a situation that this evidence is stuff that is actually what they found initially from his initial arrest, why would you bring it back? For what reason? Like, isn't that dumb? And do you know what? Like, what if you're a person that doesn't have this camera right now? And see, what they think about it is this. They think that nobody know who it is because why? They're coming in an unmarked car. Okay? So you really don't know what time it is. So they come in an unmarked car. They're not coming in a police car. They're moving the stuff and all of that. What if you don't have this footage? What if you don't got it? Or what if you don't have the money for the lawyer? Or what if you don't have the money for the help? What did Bill Cosby say? Bill Cosby said that there is many guys in prison after his ordeal because you don't really understand it until you go through it. How many guys have gotten a bad deal with the system? You really just don't know. You don't know. He says, you know, I believe that since my imprisonment, I believe he said this too. There's so many guys that are locked up for something that either it was a technicality on what they did or they probably didn't even do it. But you can't prove it until you see this goddamn tape right here. Okay? You see the tape right here, don't you? I mean, they ain't dropping off no cookies, are they? I mean, this ain't Round Table Pizza. They're not dropping off no cookies. All right? It ain't UPS. It ain't DoorDash. It ain't Amazon.com delivery. That's them trying to be shady. And if your evidence is strong enough, take it to trial. Like, we got you, you know, or we got folk that's going to turn state evidence on you and things like that. Or we have it. And I played the initial conversation that was talked about between the interviews and stuff. The guy says he don't know Mr. Welton. You know, they arrested some guy and tried to get him to talk, and the guy didn't talk. He said the only time I met this guy was in prison, or in the same jail that y'all put me in there with him. But I don't know the guy. And unfortunately for guys who don't have money or can't fight cases, how many years do some guys have to do? 40, 50, 60 years, something that they could just have been if they had a lawyer or had an attorney or not the public pretender, they could have got off with, okay, with nothing. You know, so many guys are in jails and technicalities and corruption. Then you got to spend all this money fighting it and all of these things and all these loopholes. And like I said, guys, whatever you can do, try to stay away from the system. Okay? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment in the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. Check out the Black and Hirsch t-shirts. I'm out.